How's it going, ladies and gents? How are y'all doing? And in this video, what I'm going to be talking to you guys about is revisiting Poland's Euro 2016 campaign. That's right, it's going to be another football video. Even though football isn't going on, I'm still going to talk football here like how I do here on this channel. So without further ado, let's get started. So, where to begin about Poland's Euro 2016 campaign? That was actually one of the most magical tournament campaigns I've ever seen Poland do in terms of producing results, because prior to Euro 2016, Poland didn't produce the best results in international football, and it wasn't until Euro 2016 when Poland actually were doing very, very good. So let's get started into it. So we get drawn against Northern Ireland, Germany, and Ukraine. First game against Northern Ireland, Poland absolutely gave a great performance. Milik scored the only goal, and we won that game 1-0. And then the next game against Germany, we also played pretty decently, although the biggest issue in that game was Milik not being able to put away his chances, because Poland could have easily won that game 1-0, but unfortunately Milik just couldn't score at all. He missed a header. His header just went wide of the net, and then Milik had missed an easy tap-in to make it 1-0, so that was that. But thanks to Poland's defense in that game, which featured Pazdan, Jędrzejczyk, Glick, and Piszczek, our back four absolutely did an incredible job against Germany's front attacking trio, and we were able to secure a point against Germany. And it also included Fabianski making a crazy save to deny Ozil a goal. So that was another one of the best games I've ever seen Poland produce at a tournament in a very long time, especially against a good team like Germany, because Germany and at the Euros had a very good team. They had Kimmich, they had Schweinsteiger, they had who else did they have? They didn't have Klose, because Klose already retired from international football by that point. But they had Tony Kroos still, and they had Mario Götze, which was the last time he was ever featured in a tournament for Germany, because after Euro 2016, Mario Götze has not been included in any tournament games for Germany since then. But then, in the next game against Ukraine, Poland in the first half looked very sloppy in that game. The defense was absolutely nowhere to be seen, because Ukraine could have easily beaten Poland in that game, because I remember watching that game, and Ukraine were absolutely creating chances, and the only issue in that game was Ukraine couldn't finish, because if it wasn't for Ukraine's abysmal finishing, then Poland could have lost that game. But we did a crazy corner thing where I think it was Milik who assisted Błaszczykowski, and then Błaszczykowski making it 1-0 for Poland, and then that allowed us to finish second in the group. And then in the game against Switzerland, oh man, that was a hell of a game. Poland, they could have lost that game too, but I feel like then that Switzerland game we got pretty lucky with Xhaka's miss, because the biggest thing about Poland's Euro 2016 campaign was Fabianski. He didn't save a single penalty at all, and I feel like that if Fabianski was able to save penalties, we probably would have gone far in the tournament. But in that game against Switzerland, Milik actually had a great chance to make it 1-0 for Poland, but he missed his shots, because Milik in the tournament that year, just the biggest weakness with Milik was that he couldn't finish at all, besides having that great game against Northern Ireland. Milik's finishing after that has just completely dipped. I'm talking about the Euro 2016 campaign. And then after that, in that Switzerland game, Shaqiri had that goal of the tournament where he netted a crazy bicycle kick. And then we went into pens. But prior to going to pens, Poland were also so close to getting eliminated, because Switzerland actually picked things up in that game, and they almost beat us, because I forgot whose shot it was, but I remember Switzerland's shot hitting the crossbar, and then Fabianski, he made that crazy free kick save from Ricardo Rodriguez, and then Poland went into penalties against Switzerland, where we were able to win thanks to Krychowiak converting his penalty kick. And then we had that game against Portugal, and that's where I'm going to talk about in that game. So, where to begin? Without a doubt, that was the most heartbreaking loss I ever dealt with as a Poland fan, us losing to Portugal on penalties at Euros, because I can only imagine what would have happened if we beaten Portugal on penalties. Would have we gone on to win the tournament? I don't know. That's something that we'll never know, because I mean, people just don't realize how good Poland were in that tournament. I think we were the most underrated team in that tournament, because of just how great we were able to do. The team chemistry was there, and we were able to just produce insane results thanks to our defense and our front attacking trio. So in that game against Portugal, that in the first 2 minutes of the game, Lewandowski scored a goal, because Portugal's defense kind of bottled it right there, because the way how the game started off was we did a crazy pass down the sideline, and I forgot who it was for Portugal, but the guy for Portugal failed to pick up the pass, and that allowed Grosicki to get the ball and then just square it off to Lewandowski for an easy tap, and it was 1-0 for Poland. So that was absolutely incredible. Us having a 1-0 lead over Portugal in the first 2 minutes of the game was just crazy. And after that, we went back and forth with Portugal, but then Renato Sanchez scores an equalizer. So then it's 1-1. But the thing about that game is that our defense actually did not a bad job. Our defense did a pretty decent job of marking Ronaldo. But the thing about that game against Portugal is that Milik, I don't know what it was with Milik, but I feel like that if Milik, because Milik had a bunch of chances for Poland to make it 2-1, because I remember that there was a time in the game where Milik and Lewandowski were one-on-one with Pepe, and instead of passing the ball off to Lewandowski, what Milik did was he tried to shoot the ball, but he overshot the ball. And I feel like that if Milik had passed the ball off to Lewandowski, Lewandowski would have finished that into the net, and Poland probably would have beaten Portugal in that game. And then there was also another part, I forgot where it was, but yeah, that was the best part. That was the best chance that Poland had in that game after Renato Sanchez scored that equalizer, because it seems like that after that Poland were just playing for penalties. And I think that the biggest issue with Poland in that game in terms of weaknesses was us playing for penalties instead of us trying to put the game away. Because, I mean, playing for penalties is not really the answer. You got to be able to learn how to put away a game, and because of Poland not being able to put away that game, we went into penalties, and then unfortunately Błaszczykowski couldn't save his penalty, and then Portugal, they were able to capitalize on that, and that practically knocked Poland out of the Euro 2016 campaign. But going back, man oh man, that Poland team was absolutely incredible. And as you guys know, 2 years later at the World Cup, Poland's performance absolutely dipped. I don't know what happened with Poland and Russia, but Poland's 2018 World Cup campaign was a complete disaster, and Poland just couldn't do anything. I don't even need to mention it, but I will. We lost the first game against Senegal, then we got battered by Colombia, and then we won against Japan, but that didn't really mean anything because we were already knocked out of the competition. So the next tournament that we're going to be going against is in the Euro Nations League. We got drawn against Italy, the Netherlands, and Bosnia. So that's going to be a very, very tough group for Poland. And the first game we're going to be playing in a tournament qualifier is against the Netherlands. So I'm going to be looking forward to that game, because the next game prior to that game, the only game that Poland is playing is an international friendly game against Russia, because the Euro 2020 tournament got moved on to the next year because of the ongoing virus and all that stuff. But in that game against the Netherlands, that's actually going to be a big test for Poland to see what they are capable of doing, because, I mean, the Netherlands recently in international football have been on the rise because they've beaten teams like England, Germany, France. So it just goes to show you that the Netherlands is going to be a very tough opponent for Poland in the group. I don't know who's going to be more tough for Netherlands or Italy, because Italy has also experienced a resurgence in football after missing out on the World Cup in Russia. So I guess you can say that I'm not going to consider that to be a group of death, but it's going to be a very big test for Poland's football team to see what they're capable of doing and all that stuff. And actually, we rarely play the Netherlands in international football, and we're playing the Netherlands for the first time in 3 years, in 4 years actually. The last time we played the Netherlands was prior to our Euro 2016 tournament, where we lost 2-1. But after that, prior to that game, we haven't played them in like 16 years, so we rarely play the Netherlands. I mean, history between Poland and Netherlands in international football is we played each other, I think, at a couple of tournaments, but we mostly played in the qualifiers. But now we're playing them again for the first time ever in a long time, so it's going to be interesting to see how we fare off against the Netherlands, Italy, and Bosnia. But anyways, guys, that's been the video. And wow, going back to Poland's Euro 2016 campaign, that was one of the most iconic performances I've ever seen from Poland, but it's just unfortunately we couldn't convert on our penalty shootout. And I feel like that maybe if we won it on the penalties, if we had beaten Portugal, could have we beaten Wales, and then could have we beaten France in the final, because I think our defense probably would have matched up very, very well against France. And something tells me that probably there's likely a chance that Poland probably could have won the Euro 2016 tournament. Because, I mean, we made it farther than teams like England and all that stuff. But, I mean, no offense to England, but, we all know what happened in England. They lost to Iceland. But since that tournament, England have experienced a resurgence in football, and England can actually produce results in a tournament. We'll see how England do, because at the World Cup in Russia, England were an incredible team, but it's just they just couldn't hold on to their lead against Croatia and all that stuff. But anyways, guys, I'm done with this video here. Thank y'all for watching. Let me know what y'all are thinking about the Euro Nations League. Looking forward to the games and all that stuff. Going to be talking about them. If y'all enjoyed this video, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all have a good one.